Hi everyone, welcome back to another episode of Let's Talk Money. Today with me is my cousin Kay and
Hi.
Kirinia, and she is a certified childminder, should I say? Right. So you might be wondering, why do I have her on Let's Talk Money with me today? Guess what? We're getting ready to go back to school. We're parents. And yes, we have to spend money.
Of course.
We have to budget.
Of course.
And the school always want our money.
They, is there a minute that they don't want money? Everything in the school is money.
That's right. Now, with Kay being in the field with dealing with kids for so many years, and you have kids of your own,
Yes, I do.
guys, I just exchange ideas with her. So that's why I think she should say some of her ideas with us so that we will be able to budget better as parents and make it like basically say some tips and tricks on how we can budget better as parents and things that we can do to help not be too stressful.
The overwhelm. I think the term I'm looking for is to get. I think as parents, we get overwhelmed with so many issues when it comes to our children. And not only our children, we need to also understand the pressures that surround our children as well. So at home, we teach our children one thing, but when they go to school, it's a different ball game.
Right.
And all of those pressures add even more pressure onto you as a mother,
That's correct.
especially if you're a single mother.
That's right.
It comes with so many things. For example, you don't have money to send your child to school with brand items like the Nikes, the Adidas's, and the Jordans. You don't have money for that because you have to pay the electricity, you have to pay the water, you have to pay everything. You don't have money for Jordans, but
Right.
you send them to school with what you can. The child gets bullied at school. So the child now comes home and the child is like, "Oh, mommy, I really want a pair of Jordans." And you're thinking the child is being ungrateful. You're doing your best here. But the fact of the matter is, we don't see what's happening in
In
school.
school. Yeah,
So
it's
the
true.
best thing is to always have
Mhm.
the best thing is to always have that open relationship with your child. That's where it starts.
Mhm.
The key to unlocking your true financial potential in a single parent family is to have an open relationship with your child.
Yeah,
I know,
communicate with
yeah,
them.
I know some parents may think, oh my God, what is she talking about? What does she mean an open relationship with your child? If your child understands that mommy works, mommy earns money, but that money is not just sitting in a bank account. That money needs to pay the household bills. List the household bills that
Yep.
that money needs to pay for.
Mm.
That money needs to pay for your school. That money needs to buy food every day on the table. Take your child to the supermarket with you.
Yep.
Let them experience it, the price tag. Teach your children the importance of money at an early stage.
Yep.
And that way, you eliminate the Jordans and the Adidas's, and you install in your child the importance of being content.
Yep.
If you teach your children from an early age, contentment is key. Because once your child is content, nothing out there is going to influence them because they're content. They're happy with what they
What they
have.
have. Yeah.
And that is one of the key things. And
Yeah.
I would say a very essential part of budgeting.
Yep. Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is that we make sure that our children understand what we do with our money and be content with what they have.
Yeah, and
So that
that's something we've always been talking about: gratitude,
mm-hmm,
contentment, faith, and discipline.
mm-hmm, mm-hmm,
Because if you have that, automatically the child will start to do it too.
mm-hmm.
They'll be grateful
Yeah.
for the little that they have. Be content with it.
Mhm.
And then they become disciplined.
They do. And sometimes I know in St. Lucia,
Mm-hmm.
we have, I know we were brought up like, do not speak unless spoken to. Like, if we have a question, if the child have a question, we tend to just shun them away because we're the adults, we know everything. But one thing I have learned as a child professional and childcare professional is that children do have a voice.
Yeah.
You know, they do have a voice and they do have a right to be listened to. And it's not a case of, oh, they want to dictate to the parents. Sometimes we need to understand that children, their vocabulary is not as wide. So
Yeah.
when they say something, it may come across as harsh and rude, but it's just because they don't know how to place the
Please.
words rightly. So I would encourage my single parents in St. Lucia, because I'm from a St. Lucian background,
Yeah,
that we need,
Caribbean.
yeah, we need to start listening to our little ones. Because if we do not have that, remember, communication is a two-way street. So if you want your children to trust you, you want your children to know that you are doing the best for them, you need to show that. Because a lot of like adults will say, do what I say, don't do what I do. In my career, children do what they see.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
They do what they see. So we have to model out what we want them to do. So if I'm out here saying to my kids, don't sweat, don't lie, don't do this, don't do that. But in the house, when I come home, I'm effing and bliming everywhere in the house. What do you think they're going to do?
Gonna do the same.
They're going to do the same because I am not displaying the role model that they supposed to look up to. So again, it's role modeling for your children. How are we with our money? What do we do with our money when we get paid? Do we just go and buy the finest wines in the shop, or we go and blast it on fried chicken and bakes as soon as we get paid? What do we do with our money?
Mm-hmm.
Again, it's role modeling what we want our children
To
to
do.
do with our finances.
Right.
Yes.
So it's important. So, like she said, because the kids see what we do, it's important that they're involved in the budgeting process. And not only are they involved in the budgeting process, but then let's just look at the practicality of it. You know, as a single mom, you have all these bills to pay, and sometimes by the time you're done, there is not enough for meals.
Mhm.
How do I budget and also have the child in that space where they understand, okay, this is what we can afford and this is how we're gonna do it.
Mhm.
Um, you can probably give an example of probably how you're doing it in the UK.
Mhm.
But for us in St. Lucia, I normally advise parents or my even my clients when they come to me, let's start with what's around us.
Mhm.
Because we're in the Caribbean, a lot of the times we have fruit trees and stuff around us.
Mhm.
So we start off here.
Yes.
So you plan your meal for the week and you start off with, okay, what do I have available? This is what I have available in the yard. Which one is also cheaper? Buying the local fruits or the imported fruits and stuff. So it's basically sitting down
Mhm.
and strategizing, planning how you're going to do these meals. And it's good to involve the kids because, you know, we have some picky eaters for
Mhm.
kids. But then if they understand the way their parents manage
Mhm.
budget and organize their meals, they too might come up with ideas and stuff. So they might be like, oh, but we have mangoes in the yard, so I can go to school with mangoes,
Okay. Well,
nicely chopped or whatever.
the way we do it
Mm.
here in the Caribbean, like the first thing I said
Mm.
when I spoke to you, is to take the children with you to the supermarket.
Mm.
Okay. So one way of teaching children the importance of money, you will sit at the table and you'll say, okay, this week we have £10, and £10 is what we have for our food shopping this week. £10. You do the £10. Don't give them the paper £10 because children can't just deal with £10 like that.
Right.
So you break it into £1 pieces. Then we go to the shop and then we say, for example, my daughter, Amaya, she loves pasta. Pasta is her favorite thing in the world. And for me, pasta is the cheapest thing in the shop. So I'm happy about that. So we go to the shop and she wants pasta. Now I need to tell her pasta on its own is not a nutritious meal. We need to balance it out. So how much does pasta cost, Amaya? She looks at the price tag. She says, okay, there's one, because the finest pasta will be 120 for the finest pasta. But we also have the basic pasta that's going to be 29p. Which one do you think we're going to use? Because we only have £10. And that's where you start. So you start by showing them the ingredients. But in our supermarkets, we have the finest lanes, we have the Tesco finest, we have the Domino's, we have all the top brands, which will cost you over at odds. And then you have the local supermarket brands, like you said, like you do local.
Mm-hmm.
We have the local supermarket brands. That's going to be way cheaper. But for some people, like myself, I go for the cheapest thing because at the end of the day, if you know how to cook, another thing is knowing how to cook. People in this country over here don't know how to cook, my darling. They don't. No, I'm being serious. In England, we have a fast-paced lifestyle. So when you come home, it's fast food. You see the number of leaflets that come through the door since you've been here. The pizza, the Chinese. That's how we live our life in this country. But I have taught my kids, if you want to have a financial security, you need to learn to cook. So cooking is very important. Start training your children early to cook because that's going to save them a lot of money in the future. And yes, single parents, learn to cook, my darling. It's not about the cheap ingredients, it's how you use those cheap ingredients to make the food taste good.
Yeah.
Yes.
And I think the struggle is, especially for single parents in St. Lucia or even in the Caribbean, um, it's not just about the cooking because a lot of us raise up cooking, but because you're doing the hustle and bustle,
Time
yeah,
consuming.
you like the hustler, especially if you're a single mom or a single dad. You tend to find there's no time, and probably purchasing takeout might be the best because for us, especially in St. Lucia, takeout is a lot cheaper than in the UK. So you find persons stem to that. But even doing the takeout, guys, with kids, that's not the best thing.
No.
Now, although in our schools, our lunch meals are affordable, but also that you have to look at whether the lunch meals that they're selling in the school, if it's a balanced meal for your child. And if it's a balanced meal and it's affordable and it works within your budget, you can go ahead and do it. But then when it comes to what you're going to pack in that child's school bag, you want to ensure that you don't go over your budget.
Yeah.
And you still stay um you stay within your budget, but also within something that your child will love to eat.
Because again, there's a lot of, like I said, the main thing as well is to get the children involved. I've got a picky eater, so I have to make pack lunches every day for Maya for school. She's a fussy eater. How do I manage that with my budget? I have to think, okay, I buy fruits that are in season. When you buy fruits that are in season, it's way cheaper than when you buy them that are out of season. So you'll find apples are in season, and Maya has apples in her pack lunch. Okay, that's what's in season.
Yeah.
Then we have the veg aisle where you I will put like cucumbers, and you make it fun. You cut the cucumbers into sticks. You do little things like shapes and stuff to get them to eat the veg that they really don't want to eat.
Right.
And then another thing is I find we bulk our children's pack lunches with a lot of carbs, and that is not the best way forward. Give them more of the fruit and veg. It will fill them up. Give them fruits rich in liquid, like watermelon, cucumber. All these things are like next to 0 calories in them. You're not putting fat on your child when you give them fruit and veg, and bulk it up and then give them less carbs as possible. Yes, they're at the age where they'll burn it off and they do need carbs, but not carbs in the morning, carbs in the evening, carbs in the afternoon. That's way too much for them because at the end of the day, it just stores as fat. It gets too much in there.
And
So
yeah, and as we speak about that, before we wrap up for this session, because we can go on and on speaking about, managing kids and staying within our budget. But apart from managing them, staying within our budget, teaching them financially through our practices, what other methods can we use at home? So if we want to use a method where probably we put practical money into their hands, so they learn to manage their money themselves. So apart from the understanding how mommy shop, how daddy shop, or whatever, and staying within their means and being content, how do we now create? Because for example, I can say, oh, I pay my child for doing chores at home, but they shouldn't be paid for doing chores at home because there are chores they should learn to do as children growing up, like fixing your bed, cleaning your room, packing your toys. These are chores that you should do. It's part of your routine. So what's another idea that we can come with to say, okay, I'm gonna put, let's say, 25 cents, 50 cents, or 50p, whatever, into your hands, and to have you in a habit of making money in a simple way, and for you to manage it yourself so that they can get the practical.
Okay. So one way of doing this, I know you said you don't want to pay children for tools, but money can also be used as a reward. Right. Now, our children see us wake up every morning and go to work to get money. So they know we have to do something in order to get the money. So that's already there for them. So they understand that concept. So what do? We want them to excel at school. So if you know a child hates reading, but they need to read. And yes, parents might say, oh, when my child comes, they have to read, they have to read. Make learning fun. coming from the Caribbean, oh my goodness, learning was not fun for me. No, my darling. If I don't do my spellings, I get one wrong. My backside gets it.
Yeah.
You know, you
Back,
get
back
it.
then, they had corporal punishment. So
No,
written for not being able to spell one.
no, yeah, you get one word wrong, you're getting it. You don't know your times table in the right order, you're getting it. You know,
Yeah.
learning was not fun for me, and I had to realize I'm not going to do that with my kids. Definitely not. So learning is fun. Learning is fun, and you know what makes it even better? Getting paid for it. So I would say, Amaya, choose a book of your choice. If you read it all within the week, my darling, mommy gives you £5. But you have to read the whole book. And don't tell me you read the book and then you come there, you don't know nothing in the book. No, 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 no. You ask for a book report. For that child, not only is that child excited to read the book because they know they're gonna get their £5. And also, parents, you do not tell them what to do with their £5. They're
Yeah, you
five.
want them to
Yeah,
manage it.
you want them to manage it. So they're £5. If they want to go buy McDonald's with the £5, as much as you don't want them to buy the McDonald's, it's their £5. Okay, and make sure they give you a book report so you know they've done it. And another thing you can also do is, while you're doing that, you think you're paying them for reading, but they think that you're paying them for reading, but you're actually investing in your child's future.
Yeah.
Because you know your child needs to read, your child needs that skill,
Yeah.
but you're making it fun for them.
Yeah.
So
But
that's
apart
what you're
from
not doing that.
yeah, but from saying that, not to tell them what to do. I wouldn't tell them what to do with the money, but I would say we guide them parents. So you let them know that okay, whenever you make your money at the end of the week, budget it. What you put towards saving, what you put in towards your expenses, whatever they decide to put towards their savings, that's them. And whatever they put towards their spending for them to buy whatever they want to buy, that's them. But at the end of the way, you still want to guide them so that even if you're not telling them what to do with their money, they have a sense of investing and saving from early. That hey, because they might choose, I want to save towards next year's vacation. And that motivates children because they like vacation, they like fun. Sometimes they might decide, okay, I'm not spending anything, I'm putting all towards saving. But you guide them that, hey, no matter what you do with your money, you need to save some and you can spend
Spend
it.
some.
So that way they have a structure and they now go ahead choosing what they want to do with it.
Yeah, yeah. As long as I find with children, they thrive when they have choices, and they will always do better if they have parents at home that are supporting the choices that they make.
Yeah.
And as much as we're single parents out here, and we have to be the mom, we have to be the dad, we have to think of every single thing ourselves. But guess what? As long as there's a God above, tap into that man up there. If you don't have a faith, I encourage you to find one, because single parents, I can testify, when you are at your lowest and you feel like there's nothing in the cupboards and you don't know where it's coming from, the Lord always provides.
Yeah.
He always
Yeah.
does.
Yeah. And anything final words you like to say as we wrap up? Like, for example, I want to remind parents and everyone listening to this video, don't forget gratitude, contentment, faith, discipline. These are the keys not only to financial success, but to success in life.
I cannot agree more. I cannot agree more.
Yeah.
And I would add to that, patience.
Yeah.
Definitely. We need to be patient with our children. Our children are blessed and highly favored, and sometimes their behavior don't display that. Parents, be patient with your children. Love your children unconditionally. And don't, something we like to do in the Caribbean is compare our kids with other people's children. Don't do that.
I like that.
Don't do that. Your children are your children. They're unique to you. Don't do that, parents.
Yeah, don't.
Don't do that.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
I know sometimes, like for example, when the term ends for term two, when parents go to get their grade, they want to figure
If their child is better than
well, in our school they don't put what's the children ranks, and some parents want to know whether my child came first, second, or third. They don't put the rank, and I'm very happy because I don't care. I don't want to know what the other child do or which child come first, second. I want to know what my child do.
That's it.
How we can work on you to improve.
Yeah.
So patience is key. And
Yeah.
guys, don't forget, plan, organize, budget. And it's not just for us. Get the kids involved in it.
Get them involved, yeah.
That's they plan with you, they organize, they budget. The earlier they start, it will be instilled in them that when they get older, you wouldn't have to be reminding them. It will be automatic.
It will. It
Yeah.
will.
So if you enjoyed this episode today, where we speak about parenting and financing and budgeting, just some tips and tricks, you can go ahead and share this video with someone you think it will really help. If you like it, ensure to give a thumbs up. Thank you for viewing, guys, and see you in the next episode.